Gallier, and welcome to today's episode of Crying in the DMs, a now award-winning podcast. I am joined today by an award-winning woman. It's Jess Gallier from the Martin Gallier Project. Jess, it's amazing to have you on today.
It's amazing to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
So glad we got that intro done.
Yeah.
I know we've had to try that 9 times. I feel like I'm sat next to Beyonce. I'm such a fan of your work. I'm not even just taking the piss. Such a fan of your work. I think the project's amazing. I'd look into it. And when I was looking into it further, because obviously I am also a member of the Dead Dads Club, I was like, wow, no referrals. And you can just get some help. That's not really seen often, is it, in the UK?
It's not. You can literally walk in off the street. Obviously, you can refer, but it's picked up straight away. And we pick up referrals from like all sorts of places, from hospitals, from doctors, from family members, self-referrals. But if you're in that position on that day and you just want to walk in off the street, that's fine too.
Fucking phenomenal, that, you know.
I think it's cool.
Not many places do that. That was the one thing that caught my eye. I thought, hold on. This place is not just accessible. It's accessible.
It's literally on the high street, and that's the whole point. You can just walk in off the street and say, hey, I'm having thoughts of suicide, can you help me? And that support is immediate. No, like, sitting around, no waiting.
Fucking brilliant, mate. It's
Thanks.
fucking brilliant. Like, I don't want to start this with a sob story, do you know what I mean? But, like, I've got a dead dad.
I've got a dead dad.
We've got a dead dad. And I think my dad was very often at that low point. And he was not the kind of geezer that would pick up a phone.
No.
You know, and not a lot of men do. You know, they'll sit with it and they go, I'm a man, I'm a real man, right? Whatever the fuck that means in this economy. And they won't pick up the phone. They won't say, as you know yourself. And for those watching that don't know what the Martin Gallier Project is, would you mind explaining?
So, the Martin Gallier Project is a suicide prevention, intervention and postvention charity. It's based on the high street with no waiting list, no criteria and no barriers to access. And what that really means in like real words is you can walk in off the street and ask for help with thoughts of suicide. We can support you if you're supporting a loved one through crisis, and we can support you if you're bereaved by suicide. We're open 7 days a week, 9:30 till 4:30, and we cover the whole of the Northwest. So essentially it's a non-clinical service that supports people when they're actively considering suicide. So it's not what you're going to get with a hospital or with a medical professional. It's conversation-based. Not therapy, it's intervention. And it's really about sitting with that person and meeting them where they're at that moment in time, hearing all the reasons why they want to die, and out of that, hearing their reasons for wanting to live. And using those reasons to offer, I am dead good at my job. Sometimes you forget,
You're fucking sick.
But to offer the third option. And the third option is something that people don't realise they have. So they're sat there thinking about life and death. And that's really dark.
It's black and white, isn't it?
Black and white. I mean, I've been there myself and it's a scary place to be. But then you offer this third option that they don't know that they've got. And the third option is just not making a decision right now.
Yeah, just leave it.
Yeah, not doing the death thing, not doing the living thing, committing to that forever is a long, you know, it's scary with all the problems that are going on and stuff. But how about we just stay safe for now and figure it out together? And that's what the third option is. And that's what the magic is. And people will bite your arm off for it because they've come in thinking life or death, life or death. Then you give them this third option that they didn't know existed.
Oh, I think it's so special. I really do.
I love it. And I think I might be a bit weird because suicide prevention is like my whole world. It's my hobby. It's everything to me. Sometimes I'm like, should I get a proper
a bit
hobby?
weird.
You know, like should I do a bit of Pilates or something? Like a normal hobby.
Mate,
but
Spider-Man's biggest hobby was...
True story.
He lived and he breathed it. And I bet you've saved more people than him.
Probably.
Wow.
I mean, there's a great team around me. Like, I get all this praise because my name, whoa, what's just happened? That'll be my dead dad doing that.
Dead...
Oh,
Whoa! Oh my God! What's going on, man? Jess's dad, give it a rest! What the fuck?
Oh my God. That was wild, wasn't it?
It was wild. Thank you, Jesus, for this experience that we have just had to confirm that we are in the right place at the right time. God bless Jess's dad, man.
He does do stuff like that in our office. We expanded our office and we moved upstairs, and me and Darren got our own office. Darren's got a dead brother, Daniel, and that's why she does what she does, and I've got my dead dad, Martin. And there was this like banging, and we were like, oh my God, what's that? And I was like, oh, it'll be Dad and Daniel. And then Darren went, knock once for Daniel, knock twice for Dad. And honestly, we've got 2 over my side of the room and 1 over Darren's side of the room, and we legged it downstairs. And we were like,
rebuke that in the name of Jesus.
Your teeth are so white, aren't they?
Thank you. They're not real.
They're lovely.
My mate did them. My mate Nicola runs Primo Dental in Chester.
I love them.
Yeah, she's a sick girl. She's a good girl. There's a little advert for you, Nicola. No, I think what you do is just so... It's so different. It's like on a hot day having a fucking Capri Sun that's just come out of the freezer, isn't it? It's so refreshing.
Never heard it like that before. But
well,
yeah.
It's the first time for everything, darling. It is, though. It's so refreshing because you have... I'm going to say this, it's going to get taken the wrong way by people, but these people want to take everything the wrong way anyway. You have people that say they're mental health advocates and all the rest of it, but they're in it for the fucking wonga. And they're in it to look like a better person. It's ego-based, you know?
Yeah.
You can't say you're a mental health advocate and then charge 250 quid a session. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I've met some of the most amazing people in the sector that I work in. And I went into that sector thinking, I remember saying to my friend Emma Wilkes, who works in the sector, can't wait to work in this sector where everybody's going to be lovely to each other and everyone's going to look after each other. I can't wait. And she went, come back in a year and say that to me, Jess.
Welcome to the circus, babe.
Yeah, and like it's been quite sad actually to see how many people are in it for the wrong reasons and how many just don't operate in a way that is, well, in line with kind of my morals and values, that, you know, you don't rip people off and all that kind of stuff. And it is shocking, and it shocks me every time. And then I think, should I start being cynical and like protect myself a bit, or should I carry on being who I am, seeing the good in people? Then so I'm sticking with the way I do it. And if someone lets me down, someone lets me down.
Falls by itself.
Yeah.
But always fall by itself.
It is an eye-opener though.
Mental, innit?
I thought it was going to be full of really beautiful people, and it is, don't get me wrong, 99.9% of them are. But then you have somebody that comes and copies your work and you're like, are you joking?
That's always wild,
That's got my dad's name on it. Are you actually having a
wild,
laugh?
Isn't it?
It's weird. But do you know what? Copy my work and credit me with it.
Yeah.
So say, I went to the Martin Gallier Project and I saw the service they were delivering. I was so inspired that I wanted to do something similar.
That I've adapted upon it, yeah.
Not, oh, we made this up ourselves. Well, you didn't though, did you?
Didn't.
No, you didn't, because you came and sat at my conference, you came and sat in my office, you were trained by me, and then you went and copied it. So at least credit us with the work.
It irritates the fuck out of me.
Drives me mad. And it drives me mad one step more because it's got my dad's name on it.
Because it's literally something that you put your bread and butter into because it's where you came from.
Well, the thing is, like, so the words that came out of my mouth at the time my dad died when we started the charity, those weren't just words. Those came from, like, the broken pieces of my shattered little heart.
Yeah.
They were literally raw kind of emotion. And they've been copied in years, like, to follow and palmed off as their own. And I'm like, oh, that crossed the line,
it's
doesn't
vile, isn't it? Your sentiment of faith became someone's fakery. That's what fucks me. I get it
Really
all the time.
naughty.
Not to the same extent, because obviously my business isn't based around my dead dad. He was a massive influence in it, don't get me wrong. But it's not called the Kev McCarthy Project, because I don't think anyone would fucking come to it. Do you know what I mean? They'd assume it included an awful lot of Windsor Blue and White Ace. So maybe that's a different business I'll open one day. But yeah, no, I get it. So I have a nervous system reset that I do with everybody, and I've got a lot of regulations, and it's something that I have worked for 10 years to perfect. And I had a client come to me about a year ago who was a therapist, and I will take therapists on. I've got no issue doing that. I mean, we're all here for the same reason on the baseline. Then afterwards, I saw her create an entire course based around my nervous system regulation.
No.
And I messaged her and I said, I'm not being a dick. I don't want to come across as a bell end, but you have nicked that from me. I am the only person that does that, because that is from cross-modality learning from the last 10 years. Like, and you've done that with me, and within 3 weeks, you've then implemented a whole ChatGPT course on it. Like, I really don't appreciate that. Can you at least reference me? Like, don't take it down. I'm not here to fuck with your money. Everyone's got to eat. But can you reference me in it?
Yeah.
And she said, I already had this planned before I did my coaching with you. And I thought, did you? You already had something that you've never learned. Where is your accreditation in neurobiology, please? Because last time I checked, you were a breathwork coach.
I just think, like, either do your own thing or credit someone with the piece of work that they've done. They say imitation's the highest form of flattery.
No.
But I don't see it like that.
No, it's not.
It makes me cross. But what I can recommend is trademarking your work. So we had everything trademarked when it happened to us.
It is trademarked now. That was that. I think you've got to go through stuff, haven't you, to learn.
Yeah.
It is trademarked now. If anyone else was to take it now, I'd be suing them down the arsehole. Do you know what I mean? Plus, I let this woman do it, and after about 4 weeks, they move on to the next fucking fad anyway, don't they?
And the thing is, they think they've copied it, but they've not copied it, because they've copied, like, the front door of it, right?
Yeah.
But all that substance, all that process, all the knowledge that sits behind it, none of that's actually there.
No.
So it's hollow, it's shallow, it's empty, there's nothing there.
People can feel that.
It's just, I think people can see it.
People feel it.
Yeah,
We've
people
got discernment.
Yeah, people can see when, like, it's just words. It's not words that have got something behind it, and they can see when it's not been thought through. I always say when people copy us, it's like ordering us from Wish or Temu, and it literally is.
I'm a Team Avril Lavigne today.
Yeah, you are.
Hey, you.
Do you know what? Nothing wrong with Temu.
No, nothing at all.
But it does confuse me, because, like, I thought I was spending 29p, and now I've got £29.50's worth of stuff.
It messes with your dopamine receptors, doesn't it? It's not even free, because you've got to spend, like, whatever you've got to spend to get it. It'll be like, free gift. Here is a bamboo toothbrush, and the bristles come separate. It's the context to it, innit? Everything we do, it's the context. And that's why I wanted you as a guest on the podcast, because your context is naughty. Not only have you been through some of the deepest shit that anyone has to go through, losing a parent, you lose half yourself.
Oh, you do. And you lose half the people around you as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's always a fun one, isn't it?
They come back, but they get off, don't they? They're like, oh, this is weird because she's a bit uncomfortable to be around right now, especially when it's like suicide or something like that. And off they pop. And then it's funny when they start hearing you on podcasts or seeing you on the telly. They're back. They're back there in your DMs.
Bitches, they come, they go. Saturday through Sunday, Monday.
Where were you? Literally, where were you?
Yeah. I had it when my dad died. So I went a bit mental, though, a bit different to you.
I did that bit as well.
Oh, you did mental?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what did you do?
Quit my job and started a charity.
I did crack, babe.
I didn't do crack. I'm scared of crack. Like, crack is in the category with, like, heroines.
The category of heroines?
Yeah. Is it not? Those are, like, proper drugs, aren't they? Do you know what I mean?
You kill me, you know.
No, but I did do mental as well, just not in a cracky way.
Not in a cracky way, you didn't crack up.
I didn't crack up.
Yeah, no, when my dad died, I went absolutely mental. So I started just drinking every day first, but I was drinking every day anyway, to be honest. I just upped my alcohol intake. I was a pisshead from like 16.
Fair play.
Actually, more like 14. But because obviously I had school during the day, you couldn't be like totally pissed. Just have to have a Lucozade bottle of vodka and that. Do you know what I mean?
Reduce the drinking hours down.
That's it, yeah. Got to be sensible. I have my sats to do. And then obviously I went to uni and I was pissed every fucking day. No one even knew I was drunk. That was the thing. I'd be pissed all day and then I'd get off the train from work, go buy a box of Mansion House wine and just drink that all evening to the point where I was like psychotic.
That's when you know it's a problem if people can't even tell you pissed.
They couldn't tell.
Yeah.
They couldn't tell. They were just like, oh, Sarah's a bit mental, isn't she?
So when you got sober, were people like, oh,
yeah, everyone was like, what the
we
fuck?
thought she was like.
Yeah, everyone was
That's
like,
a
what
different girl.
the fuck? So I got sober because I got pregnant. So I just left my boyfriend because I was going psychotic. Now I tried getting sober while I was with him. And once I got sober, the realisation that I'd been mental was very apparent. Like, incredibly apparent.
You've just been masking the mental.
Masking the mental. I had a whole double life, mate.
Wow.
It was insane. Literally so pissed that every day was like a film. I used to genuinely think I was on a film. And that's how I know it was part of psychosis. Do you know what I mean? I thought the world was a game and I was just in it. So I was doing things for the plot constantly. And then I'd like look up and be like, who's what? Honestly,
like you were a little Minecraft.
Yeah, it's wild. I was acting like I was on Roblox, mate. And I remember I got sober and I was sober for about 4 days and I had fucking pains in my stomach and I was having all sorts of wild thoughts. I thought that, if he ever watches my podcast, I'm fucked, you know, because he will think, what the fuck is wrong with you? But never mind. And I remember waking him up and I was like, they're coming to get us. We need to go in get in the car right now. They're coming to get us. One of my dad's mates, who was also a crackhead, who would ring me up, he used to call my uncle, and he'd tell me people to come to get me.
Oh, wow.
So he would really increase the psychosis, to be honest. I remember I said to him, we need to go get in the car. They're coming to get us. And he just went along with it. He was like, all right. Because I was that fucked up all the time. I genuinely believed there was a cartel after me. And I'd get myself so fucked up that I convinced myself they were ringing me.
Nice.
Wild. Wild time of my life. So anyway, I got sober for about 3-4 days, realised I'd been a complete fucking psychotic nutcase, and had to randomly throw my boyfriend out on a Wednesday night. I remember I was just going, you need to go, you need to go, you need to go, you need to go. And it's because I'd realised I was poorly. You must leave me. You should never have been with me. I was a psychotic nutjob. That was just after my dad died. And then I spent about 2 years then, even with a baby, being moderately psychotic, doing moderate psycho things. And then one day it just hits you, doesn't it? And you're like, what the fuck have I been doing?
Yeah. It's people at different points and in different ways, I think. And like, I was nuts in a bit of a different way. I was with a not very nice man. And that's a nice way of saying it. He was an absolute... My dad died. Obviously, my dad took his own life. Leo was 12 weeks old. And I was already in this abusive relationship that I was like desperate to leave, but I thought he would kill me.
Echo chamber, chamber, yeah.
But you know that fear of when I leave, he's going to kill me, so I can't leave. Shit, so I don't know what to do.
I'm going to stay here and die.
Yeah. Well, once my dad had died, to be honest, didn't really want to be here, so I thought, I'm going to try and leave. Because if he kills me...
Going with my dad anyway.
Exactly, yeah. And so looking back, I'm quite grateful for that because it got me out of that situation. But he really got in my head, you've killed your dad, You didn't do enough, and so that's because you've killed him. And we had this tiny little baby, and I'd not do the washing up because I was pretty depressed. My dad had just killed himself.
Yeah, your dad just died,
I'd literally given birth,
yeah.
and my dad had killed himself, and I'd not do the washing up, and he'd come in and kick off. And that would be the excuse to kick off and batter me. Or I'd do the washing up, but it wouldn't be good enough. And he'd like scratch at the plates and go, that's still a bit dirty, and you're going to kill our baby. Just like you've killed your dad. And this became this thing, this belief that then became real. And then I was adamant that I had killed my dad and that I was going to kill this beautiful little baby because I'd also killed my dad. And that's who I was, this person that killed people. It's mad. Like looking back, I'm like, how stupid was I to fall for that?
No,
But
don't ever call yourself stupid. No, you weren't stupid, man.
And I wouldn't say that to anybody else, but you say it to yourself, don't you? But like,
you shouldn't.
I was in it.
Take it back.
Sorry, take it back. I was in it and I couldn't see the wood for the trees and managed to get rid of him. And it was like, wow, who am I? Like, I'm a totally different person after my dad's died. I'm a totally different person after I'm not with him because they make you smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, don't they? And then it was about, like, sounds dead cheesy, but finding myself again and being like, who the fuck am I?
Yeah.
And then, like, rebuilding. And I came to realise I was never going to be the same person that I was before because trauma changes you.
Yeah.
Trauma changes the makeup of your brain and all of that. Trauma changes you. Death of a parent changes you. So there's a before and there's an after. An abusive relationship changes you. So I was never going to be that person I was before. And that's what I was pining for. When's Jess coming back? When's Jess coming back? When am I going to be Jess again? And when I realised that that wasn't a possibility, but I actually then had the power to rebuild a new Jess and rebuild with the bits that were good, the bits that were not selfish Jess, the bits that were, you know, the good bits. And I got to pick and choose, like a pick and mix, and rebuild myself into something new. It was life-changing because I was so powerless in all of that. And the only thing I had the power over was like who I rebuild myself into.
Yes, girl.
It's mad, isn't it? It's weird because I'm so grateful for those experiences because I was a bit of a before, to be honest. No, do you know what? I was all right, but I was a bit selfish and I thought of myself first. And, you know, I was money driven, stuff like that. And it just, there's the before Jess and the after Jess. And I'm so grateful for the shit.
It's crazy, isn't it? How trauma makes you literally put everything into perspective.
Yeah.
Especially, it's important what you just said about the money driven. Finances. And how it's so important before you lose every sense of yourself. And then afterwards you think, fuck, I'd rather have 45p and some dopamine.
Yeah.
It's mental, innit? Because I was really money driven before my dad died. And even after for a bit because I wanted that as stability. Do you know what I mean? So I made a fuckload of bank and then I was miserable. And then when you come out of it, you realise the most sustainable income you'll ever make is income you make for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Like, literally, if you love your job and you wholeheartedly believe in what you do, you're going to feel rich every day. Fucking finance is a state of mind. It really is. I don't think I've checked my bank in about 4 years.
Nice.
I used to check it every day, every single day after my dad died. I checked my bank. But I think it's because I came from fuck all. You know what I mean? So when I started making bank, it was just before my dad died. It was the first time I'd ever been like, whoa. Like, I was making so much money that I could have gone and just bought 3 Gucci bags and not give a fuck.
I don't. It's really weird money, isn't it? You can make more money, but you can't make more happiness.
Yeah. I was trying to buy it for ages.
And you're trying to buy it. And then so you
buy
can
it for
make
other
loads of
people
money.
as well.
Yeah, make loads of money, but then you're spending it all on shit trying to make yourself happy. So actually you end up with less money in the bank than you would if you were skint.
I was going out and I'd buy I'd go into flannels and I'd buy like a Gucci belt and then I'd buy like a Burberry bag and then I'd get like a Gucci dress and then I'd go and have a look at and I'd just be spending we're talking like 15 grand a day some weeks. Some weeks I would spend 15 grand in the shop just to buy some stuff, just so I could walk and take pictures with the bags. And then I'd be buying stuff for my fella or buying stuff for my mates. And I don't think I ate at home for like 12 months. Go for breakfast every day in this place called Coat Brasserie and spend like 60 quid on breakfast every morning. That's just because I didn't want to cook for myself at home. Do you know what I mean? And I was doing all this madness. And then I woke up one day, it was the 13th of December, and my dad died on the 14th of December, right? And it must have been about 3 years after he died. And my son, probably about 1.5-ish, my son came in and I had this weird thought. I was like, I want to make pancakes. I had no flour, had no eggs, nothing in. I had these weird like M&S ready meals in the fridge because I just used to make ready meals all the time if I was eating at home. Do you know what I mean? I had milk, but it was like this fucking stupid organic spelt milk shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, what am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? Right? And I walked down to the Waitrose. Someone's going to go, oh, Waitrose. Yeah, it was the closest shop, yeah? And I went and bought a full shop, walked back, made pancakes, and we walked down to the river because I was living in Chester at the time. And I thought, what have I been doing? Like, my dad had fuck all to his name, and he was quite happy for someone that was an addict of everything. Do you know what I mean? Moderately happy, like as day goes. And then I was an addict of everything, thinking that I was now recovered and perfect and brilliant because I had loads of money. I was just buying love. Buying it from everyone. And the minute you stop buying love, fuck off.
Yeah, they do.
You're renting people.
Yeah.
You ever rented people?
I mean, I've had, you know, those men that fall in love for somewhere to live.
Hobosexuals.
Oh my God, literally, they like gravitated towards me for years. He was one of them, like falls in love for somewhere to live. But you just don't see it, do you? You just don't see it at the time. It is a really weird thing. But I'm a chronic overspender. And then I have to stop and be like, why am I buying that? Am I buying that because I want that and I need that?
Dopamine chasing, innit?
Yeah. Or am I buying that because I feel a bit sad today? Or like, you know, that I love that feeling that you get when you tap your credit card and they give you a bag. You're like, oh, great. And then it's gone. The feeling's gone. You're like, oh, I don't even need that. I don't even want it. I have to really consciously think about it. We bought a house last year and like I'm 35 years old, bought a house, and loads of my mates bought houses when we were like really young. And I'm like, why is it taking me till 35 to buy a house? And then I looked at my shoes and I was like, oh, that's why. Because I'm looking, it's like, you know, like Carrie Bradshaw when she's like, oh, that's why I've not got a house deposit because I bought all these shoes. And I was looking at them and I was like, oh no. But do you know what? It's not linear, is it? You make your own path in life. You don't have to do everything by a certain year and a certain age and all of that. And I stopped my life to start a charity, and I didn't take a salary from that charity for the first 18 months because we didn't have any money. We had 64 pence in the bank account the day that we signed the lease on the building. So I lived off savings, didn't take a penny, had to be really frugal. And I was happier then than I had been in all the years before where I was making loads of money.
100%. I totally get that.
It is a weird thing.
But it's about what you feel inside, isn't it? It is about, when they say it's what's inside that counts, you know. It's like on Shrek. Onions have layers.
Yes, onions have layers.
Ogres have layers.
This morning I said, that'll do, donkey, that'll do. My husband went, what's that from? And I was like, who are you?
Divorce
Who have I married? He's 10 years older than me.
Divorce pending.
I literally stopped and I was like, pardon.
What do you mean you never watched Shrek on a long car journey on a VCR?
There's some life lessons in Shrek. Really good life lessons in Shrek.
There is,
it is not a kid's film.
It's not, is
No.
it? I rewatched it a couple of months ago with my Robbie and my little boy is 6. And I was watching it thinking, it's a bit naughty this, isn't it? Like, you know, when she's in the cave and she's like getting dressed and whatnot, and you think, hold on, Fiona. What are you doing, girl? This isn't burlesque, bitch. But it's wild, isn't it? Like, when you get older, you see the stuff that you couldn't see when you were a child.
Yeah.
And it is, you know, you're right in that concept of we can have everything in the world and have nothing. And I think it's important that we do breach on that because people are going to watch this. They're going to expect it to be a sad episode. You know, it's about suicide and whatnot and dead dads. But it's not, because the sadness, you know, in a lot of ways will subside and it will be filled with knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And you have that knowledge of, you know, I had everything back then. I actually had nothing.
Yeah.
I have a lot less now physically, but mentally, you couldn't strip me of what I've got.
No.
You know?
And you've built it yourself, so then nobody can take it away, can they?
Exactly. And you're looking back at those childhood memories and they become so important to you, more important than any bag, any pair of shoes. It's those childhood memories, watching that Toy Story, watching that Shrek. But as you grow older as an adult and grow more aware of the world, do you ever look back and go, oh, I missed that? And you've actually missed a massive thing. So, for example, with my dad, right? I didn't know he was an addict when he was still with my mum. I didn't have a clue. But he used to get quite nasty sometimes, right? I remember this one time he got me by my throat up a wall and my nan hit him with a slipper because I had toast in my throat. And I must have been about 5 or 6. And you know, you look back and he wasn't drunk, he wasn't high. Shit, he was withdrawing.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you don't realise it as a child because you're just existing. But then as an adult, you can actually see your parents as like people.
And it's weird because you grow up and you think your parents, you think they know how to be parents and you think they're like proper grown-ups, don't you?
Yeah.
And then I look back now, and obviously I've got kids now, and I look at like the age that I'm at and how old my mum was when I was little and stuff like that. And I'm like, hang on a minute, you didn't have a clue what you were doing either because I don't know what I'm doing.
Scooby, mate.
I haven't got a clue. You were just winging it as well. But when you're a kid, you're looking at them and they are like the beacon of all knowledge, aren't they?
That's
and they know what they're doing.
But
they don't. None of us know what we're doing. Parenting's so hard.
Parenting's fucked, man.
It's so fucking hard. It doesn't make sense.
My son asks me about 105 questions a day.
Yeah.
And I'll answer them. And sometimes I'll lie because I don't really have the answer.
Sometimes I'll say, I don't know the answer to that. And he'll ask the same question again and again and again. And I'm like, I don't know the answer to that, Leo. I still don't know the answer. And you've asked me again. I'll make something up.
My son said to me the other day, Mum, what's the difference between an elephant and a rhinoceros? We were eating a spag bowl, mate. And I'm like, I don't know, Rob. He's like, I know what it is. I said, what is it? He comes up with some utter shit. So I Googled it later that night. Do you know what the difference is?
Go on.
Tusks.
Is that the only difference?
Well, no, obviously
really
one of them's got a
strong,
massive
aren't they?
fucking nose and whatnot, right? But like the main notorious difference in all this was the look, I'll show you, one sec. The main difference between an elephant and a rhino is their facial appendages. Horns
Facial
versus tusks.
appendages.
Yeah.
He's got a right facial appendage.
Look at his fucking facial appendage. Went up to him, he was about 10:15. Went and woke him up in bed. And I was like, Robbie? He's like, what? I was like, it's the facial appendages, it's the tusks. And he went, oh, Mum, go away.
Would you rather
one
be
of
an
the
ant
worm or
or
the caterpillar has the better credit score? Do you know what I mean? Whichever one has the bigger overdraft. Like, it's mad, innit, what kids do. But then you got to think, when we're younger, we're looking at our parents like they know everything, right? And now I'm looking back and I'm seeing my dad used to make it up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and now I am my dad because I just make it up.
Same.
Like, he used to go, so we used to sit in this pub called the Ring of Bells. And we'd sit there, because I grew up in Widnes, then I moved away and then I came back. So I've been back for about 1.5 years now. It's been fun. Centre of the universe.
I don't actually really know where Widnes is.
Centre of the universe, just told you. But yeah, no. And we sit in this pub called the Ring of Bells, right? And my dad would get a pint and then he'd get me a water or a juice or whatever. And I remember once he was chatting up this bird. He was telling her that he used to be in the army. My dad was not in the army. He was telling her that he used to be in the army and all this stuff. He was telling her about all this stuff he'd done, this crazy stuff, and something about Kazakhstan and all this waffle, right? I got a well done for not grassing him in. Got a little choc lick.
Chocolate with the breadsticks.
Yeah, with the breadsticks, right? And he went to me, well done, Sarah. And that's how you do it. And you know when you grow up and you think, what did you do?
What was it out?
What exactly did you do there? You lied to an unsuspecting female for 25 minutes while I drank a fucking alien-shaped juice.
My dad was a drinker, and when I was a little girl, and it's one of my favourite memories, but then now I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, it's a totally different memory than I thought it was. So my dad...
yeah, you love it, don't you? You're like, oh dear.
I loved pickled eggs. My dad lived in the Cotswolds, and like little pubs in the Cotswolds in the 90s had pickled eggs. So my dad used to take me, when I'd go and visit my dad would take me on a pickled egg hunt. So we'd go from pub to pub, and I'd get pickled eggs in the different pubs. But looking back, it was just a pub crawl for my dad. I loved it. It wasn't until I was, I don't know, maybe in my 20s that I realised.
It's crazy, isn't it, when you look back?
I just thought it was a lovely little day out. Pickled egg hunt.
My dad used to tell us we were going for a wee ride, and we'd just get in a car, go and drive around in it. My dad was a mechanic. And once he took me on a drive in this open top car. And I was like, oh, is this your new car, Dad? He was like, it is for today. You know, you look back and you go, you were illegally driving people's cars around, weren't you?
Wow.
They left their car in the garage for you to sort. You were just taking me on a spin in it, weren't you?
Bit of joyriding.
Yeah, mental. It's mad though, isn't it? Like, I remember one of my dad's mates telling me that they hot-wired a golf cart or something and just got off on it. And you think, that's mental. But at the same time, it's not. Because they're just people, aren't they?
It felt normal back then, didn't it? And then you look back on those things now and you go, oh, hang on a minute. That wasn't actually very good parenting, was it, Dad?
No, I think that all the time. I remember going to the shop for my dad for fags.
Yeah. It was a
just normal.
different time.
A little piece of paper, right?
My dad said, can I have some fags and a bottle of wine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, whatever's left, get yourself something. You get yourself like a 5p worm. I mean, like, that's how I started smoking though. Fucking scheming, you know, as a kid. So I was about maybe 10, 11, and my dad sent me to the shop, and there was only certain shops at that point that would actually still give kids fags. But this one woman had known my dad for years. I think he'd actually gone to school with her before she got the shop or something. And I went in there and I was like, oh, my dad wants 10 Windsor Blue. And she was like, right, okay. And I was like, and 10 Windsor Blue on tick. And I started ticking. But then I didn't realise this is going to add up. And my dad went into the shop one day and she was like, Kev, I can't give you anything else till you pay your tick. And my dad was like, what do you mean? And I'd racked up like 40 quid on a tick, in fact, which was a fair amount of money.
That was a lot back then.
My dad didn't have fuck all, yeah. He went fucking mental at me, right? But then my dad went, but you know what, Sarah, I didn't realise shops did tick. So he paid the tick off and he started ticking. And then when he died, I went into the shop to tell him my dad had died. And she went, yeah, you need to pay his tick. And I had £100 tick to pay, right? And I was absolutely livid. But at the same time, I was pissing myself laughing. I was like, you fucker, you got me. It was like a full 360 moment where you're like, oh.
Yeah, like he's laughing at you.
Yeah, he's giggling. He's like that, hey, dickhead. Do you know what I mean? It made me absolutely piss myself howling.
We had it when my dad died, and then we're at his funeral, and I don't think other people would laugh at stuff like this, but you and me would laugh at this. So we're at his funeral, and his coffin's coming down the aisle or whatever you call it, and it's coming past me, and I'm just about holding it together, but not really. And then, you know, like the plaque that goes on the coffin, it was wonky like that. I thought it was fucking hilarious. I was like, ha, that's what you get. And I was like, I couldn't hold it together then. It's not that I couldn't hold it together crying-wise. Like, I was laughing, trying not to laugh. And then I just focused on it the whole funeral. I thought, you'll fucking hate that.
Is it still like that now?
No. Went through a flame.
Oh, it got cremmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad had Town Called Malice by The Jam. It was his cremation song. Dun, 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 dun. I got it tattooed. I got Malice tattooed on my leg.
Oh, I love that.
Because I always say, do not attribute that to which is incompetence to malice.
It's good, that.
Yeah, sick, innit?
Trademark it.
Yeah, no, I don't think I did. I've probably read it fucking somewhere off my head, to be honest. But I think I made it up as it stands. But if anyone knows where it's from, feel free to let me know. But the minute I heard it, I was like, yeah, you know what? Sick, because 90% of the shit things I've done in my life, I haven't done out of malice. I've just been incompetent.
Yeah, that makes sense. There's a lot of incompetent people out there, isn't there? But then it's when you when you pair that incompetence with someone that is a bit malicious, that's a dangerous combo.
That is a dangerous combo.
That is a dangerous combo, because those people are dangerous.
Yeah, well, that's when you get Jekyll and Hyde shit.
Yeah.
That's when you are, yeah.
Because they flip between being incompetent and being malicious.
Yeah, it's evil, that, innit? That's when you actually get pure evil.
Pure evil.
Pure evil. Not only are you thick as fuck, but you're also evil.
Isn't it proper hard not to name people? But I know we'll end up in court if we do.
I almost got sued.
Did you?
Yeah.
For naming someone?
Yeah. I've had a solicitor on retainer for 5 years and he's phenomenal, right? And he's quick. He's speedy on that shit. But he always says to me, Sarah, don't make your bills higher by making my job harder. Keep the name out your mouth. You can say whatever you want. If they're not identifiable directly, you're okay.
I got a little cease and desist recently.
Did you?
From an energy company. So they got us at work and we're a suicide prevention charity, right? They'd cold called the office. They'd spoken to someone that didn't have the authority to sign a contract. They said, oh, can we tell you some rates? And she's gone, oh, yeah. They've recorded that and used it as a verbal consent for a contract.
What the fuck?
Tied us into a contract for 5 years at double the rate we were paying the other energy provider. And we couldn't get out of it. So obviously, I'm on the internet, calling them for all sorts, tagged their CEO on it, on LinkedIn, which they don't like it when you do that. They sent me a cease and desist. I thought it was the funniest thing ever.
Are you desist him?
No.
So what they've sent you is a good morning, how are you text?
Yeah, pretty much.
You'd think people would have more respect for a suicide prevention
company.
company.
Oh, they don't, though. It's weird. It's the weirdest thing. People think also that we exist for free. So you hear the word charity and you think, oh, it must be free. Everyone there must be volunteers. But we're talking about life and death here. So we're talking about people sitting with your loved one that is considering killing themselves. They are paid members of staff.
Yeah.
And they are extremely experienced and amazing people. They don't come for free. No. And you have to turn the lights on and you have to rent the building and you have to have insurance to cover the work that you're doing. But people hear the word charity, they think it's free and they think that you sit around all day plaiting each other's hair singing fucking Kumbaya, and you don't. We're like an emergency service. It's so busy. The amount of people that we see, we've done 60,021 suicide interventions in the last,
Oh, mate.
in the last 7 years. We're a really busy service, but people hear charity and they think, oh, you must just be sitting around drinking cups of tea. It's not like that. Come and spend a day in the office if you feel like it's going to be like that. And you'll see there's phones ringing, there's doors going, there's other phones ringing. It's wild.
What's the youngest person you've had walk through them doors?
Well, we are a 16 plus service. However, we would never turn anybody away. We've got permission from our insurance to have a one-off conversation with them and then get them to the appropriate service. The youngest person that ever walked through our door was 13.
13 years old and wanting to end your life, man.
Yeah. And on the flip side of that, the oldest person that we've ever had through our doors was 94. Wow. So can you imagine being 94 and considering suicide? Been considering suicide their whole life. 94 years of it.
That's the thing. It's considering, isn't it?
Well, something was keeping them alive, wasn't it? Something. There was something still to live for. There was some sort of hope, doubt or uncertainty that made them think, oh, maybe not today, maybe not today. And actually, if we'd had a conversation with that person when they were 16, 17, 20s, whatever, they could have lived all those years without that niggling thought of, should I kill myself today? And that's how it works. Tell me all the reasons why you want to die. People go, is that a depressing job? And I'm like, absolutely not. No. You see these people that come in and say, I'm killing myself today, unless you give me a reason to live. And you're like, okay, you've just told me to give you a reason to live. It's telling me that you're not certain about your choice. Whilst you're not certain, how about we think about staying safe for now? And they go, I didn't know I could do that. All right, let's work on all these problems together, but I just need you to stay alive so we can work on them together. And then before you know it, they go, I don't want to kill myself anymore. I just wanted all that stuff to stop, and all that stuff stopped now. It's not rocket science.
I had a client last year, gorgeous woman. She had 6 kids, and I spoke to her about 3 weeks before. She's from New Zealand, and because I have clients all over the place. And she was saying to me, no, I'm getting so much better. I feel so much better. And I booked back in. But she had a lot of shit going on in her life. Do you know what I mean? A lot of shit that she couldn't put down. I got a phone call one night off her sister-in-law. And she was like, is this Sarah? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, it's sister-in-law. She's killed herself. I fucking fell to the floor.
Yeah, I bet.
Like, she's left those kids behind. She's left the partner behind. And I couldn't believe she'd done it, because she'd been so upbeat a few weeks before. Then I realised, you know, when you're really in that mindset, you don't want anyone to talk you out of it. You don't want anyone to do it. And I mean, I realised I've been in that headspace before. I've done it myself, but obviously I was not successful.
But it's different from the outside looking in.
It is.
Isn't it?
It is, because you think, No wonder people didn't realise. A lot of the time when you're that depressed and you're at rock bottom, you think, why are people not realising? Why is no one helping me? And you don't realise how capable you seem on the outside.
Yeah.
Like how strong you seem and how good you are to actually be around, that people don't think you don't want to be here because they wouldn't not want you here.
Yeah.
It's that perception change, isn't it? Of you can walk past anybody and really not know what they're going through.
Really not know.
But you underestimate yourself as a person to seem so capable, to seem so put together. And that's why people aren't jumping to help you, because they don't actually realise the depth of what's wrong because of how well you hold it.
Yeah.
That's why speaking's so important, communicating's so important, isn't it?
Well, the people we see in the service, that like, so we see lots of people, a lot of everybody, right? So there's no kind of textbook client. We see people that have got loads of money in the bank. We see people that have got no money in the bank. Do you know what I mean? And it's not the people that come in like kind of really frantic and chaotic and, you know, I'm killing myself today. Those aren't the people. I worry about those people, of course, but those aren't the people I'm worried about the most. It's the people that are dragged in by the husband or by the wife or by the kids or whatever, and they present like all very calm. So, you know, and you to look at it, you think, oh, this is an emergency, but those are the people.
That's the emergency.
Those are the emergency people that you've really got to worry about. And I think we talk all the time, don't we, about spotting changes in people. When, like, you know, if there are any sudden changes, you want to be, you know, talking about suicide. But those changes that we're looking for are negative changes. And actually what we've learned over the years is positive changes, right? So if somebody's been down for a while and suddenly they seem to have it all together and they seem upbeat and they seem a bit lighter and a bit freer and everything seems a bit better, then that's a change as well. And what we know now from research and evidence is that, number one, they might have made their mind up that they're ending their life on such and such a date. And all those problems that they were contending with, well, they've gone away, haven't they? Because they're not going to be here. So there's a big shift in mood there, because imagine how light you would feel after all your problems going away. And the other one is that they're putting on the last show, the last hurrah, in this kind of naive belief that that is what people remember. So we know people that have gone and had the hair done, had the makeup done, you know, got the nails done, turned up in the best outfit, turned up as the best version of themselves to go and see all the family. And it's the last goodbye. But the family go, but they were in such good spirits. They were great. Everything was good. And then if I look back on like my situation with my dad had been chaotic for years. My dad had loads of stuff going on for him. And he seemed to have turned a corner. But had he turned a corner, or had he just made his mind up? We're kind of programmed to be looking out for negative changes, but we need to be looking out for those positive changes as well, don't we? But you don't know that until you know.
Of course you don't.
Why would you know that? Why would I know all that stuff before I'd lost my dad to suicide? They don't teach you it at school.
No.
And I look back and I think, if I knew then what I know now, would things be different? I'll never know the answer to that. And I can't do anything with that other than use that for other people's dads and other people's wives and other people's children, whatever that looks like. And it's a proper double-edged sword, you know, because it's like really bittersweet.
100%.
Really bittersweet. But like you say about your client, you know, she seemed to have pulled it back round. Things seem to have got better for her. Maybe they hadn't.
That's it. And
but you don't know until you know.
You don't. And I think that's so important. The way you hold yourself's fantastic, by the way, mate. Genuinely.
Oh,
like,
thanks.
Fucking, yeah. It is that thing, innit, of you never know when someone's on the edge, because you might be preparing to jump off it.
Literally.
And it's that preparation time of, well, I'm going to look my best now. I don't need to worry about money because I'm going to be gone anyway. So
Exactly.
I'm just going to spend it.
Yeah.
And, you know, don't need to worry about my house. Fuck it. I'll just leave it.
Yeah.
I remember the lowest point I've ever had, I probably looked my best.
Yeah, you probably did. Yeah.
I had a weave in. I had my lashes done every week. Honestly.
Yeah.
I was head to toe in fucking name brand shite and was going out drinking all the time, going out eating all the time. I was probably closer to an influencer then than now. Genuinely, now I rebuke the term influencer. Like, I was having a great time. Do you know what I mean?
And I bet the world thought you were fine and dandy, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. All my mates were like, oh, God, fucking hell, you got it together, mate. Oh, bloody hell, mate. Oh, I started from the bottom, now we're here. All this sort of stuff, right? And I was like, yeah. I'll never forget the 22nd of July, right? 22nd July 2023 was when I wanted to take my life. And I had it planned. And I didn't even clock until you've just said that then, that I was legitimately planning for that. Like, even though, like, I was still 50-50 in my head, if that makes sense. It was never 100%. It was always a 50-50 in my head, right? And there's been other times, but that was like the main time that had come to mind. And I'd had my hair done. I'd had my nails done. And this is why when you were saying that then, my head was going like, whoa.
I could see your face.
This is subconscious, right? I bought myself 2 new pairs of jeans, one black and one grey. I had 2 new pairs of shoes, right, that I was wearing. I had a date planned with the girls to all go out, and I never do that. I'm shit at planning. Any of my girls that watch this would go, because they'll watch this now and go, oh shit, yeah, because I'm shit at planning. I could not plan a piss up in a brewery, like, at all. I'd gone and seen my mum. I'd reconnected with my nan. I'd apologised to like uncles. I'd said sorry to exes and friends. I didn't realise how close that plan was until I've just discussed it with you. And now I'm like, hey, you were doing all this subconsciously as well, which then puts it on the flip side, doesn't it? Of, hey, are these people consciously doing it? Or is in some ways, is it subconscious?
Well, maybe a bit of both. It's the fact that you can remember you can remember all of that. Like you can remember that you bought 2 pairs of jeans, one black, one grey.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah, it's wild. Because I was in TK Maxx. I was like, oh, God, I can't really afford it. Fuck it.
Yeah, well, yeah. Fuck it.
But like, again, I'm just, when you clock things, this is why I love having these conversations with people. And I like that we don't just have like big A-list celebrities and shit on the sofa to bring in the views, because it's these conversations that will make a difference. Because someone watching this now could have thought, fuck it, I'll go get them fags. I won't even be here next week. Fuck it, I'll go and get a drink. Fuck it this, fuck it that. The minute you fuck it, you fucked it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I can remember standing in TK Maxx going, fuck it, I'll just get both. I won't even be here. But
and
that
at the time,
a real
it wasn't
plan.
even a conscious thought.
No, but it wasn't
yeah.
a real plan. It was like felt like a suggestion.
Yeah.
More than a plan. Weird way. It wasn't like I was definitely going to do it, but I was behaving like I was going to do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I'd taken out a PayPal loan that I knew I wasn't going to pay back. Obviously, I've had to pay it back now. And I was just spending through the PayPal loan.
Sometimes people being me people, I attempted suicide in my 20s. And there's a photograph of me from the day before. And I looked, best I've ever looked. Big smile on my face, big night out for my birthday, happy as Larry, looked great, looked like, nobody would have ever known. And I attempted suicide. And the next morning I went to the doctors because I was considering killing myself that day. And then they said, have you already done anything to harm yourself? And I said, well, actually, yeah, last night I did X, Y, Z. And they went, oh, well, we need to take you to the hospital then. And I was like, why? Well, because you've attempted suicide. I haven't attempted suicide. Yes, you have. And I was like, shit, I didn't even know that I had tried to kill myself, even though that's exactly what I've done.
Yeah.
I'd done it. But I did not, in my mind, because things were so kind of unclear and I couldn't see anything and chaotic. I couldn't even see that that's what I was doing, but that is what I was doing. How can you make an attempt on your own life and not realise that that's what you've done? Well, I did. That's where I was at, because things were just
so disassociated. Yeah. The next day, and I think that's a scary thing, isn't it?
Scary, really scary.
The next day you can wake up and crack on.
Yeah.
I remember waking up and cracking on a couple of times in my teens to early 20s. I woke up and cracked on, literally.
It's terrifying. Bad. And if I'd had someone speak to then in the way that, like, the service that we deliver now, it would have been very, very different. But back then, I mean, we're talking, how old am I? 35. So we're talking 15 years ago, right? Back then, suicide wasn't spoken about. And I mean, it's still, like, not where it needs to be, but we're more open about it, aren't we? Conversations like this wouldn't be happening. But it was so taboo then. It was so, like, not spoken about. Even when my dad died, which was 9 years ago, like it was a dirty word. It was a real dirty word. And I remember people being very awkward about it. Very awkward. And I couldn't really understand why people were being so awkward. And it was like the day after he died, and I went to, my mum said, I was on the phone to my mum, and she was like, you need to go and do something really normal, Jess. Just go and do something really, really normal to try and, like, bring yourself back down. So I went to the supermarket, which I won't name, and I was in the frozen aisle in the supermarket, and the tears have started at this point. I hadn't cried.
I hate that, man.
And the tears started, and I had Leo in the pram, and this old lady said to me, are you okay? You're crying. And I was like, I am crying. I was like, my dad died yesterday. And she went, oh, I'm so sorry. And obviously I was only young, so she wanted to know what had gone on. And she went, how did he die? And I said, he killed himself. And she went, oh, have you seen the weather today? Have you seen the weather today? It's a lovely day, isn't it? And she was that uncomfortable. And that was when I realised that suicide was this dirty word and that people didn't want to talk about it. And then I lost loads of my friendship group because they were uncomfortable talking about it. People would actively, like, cross the road away from me because they were like, shit, like, I don't know how to talk to her about it. But even the way it's come on since then to now and how much more open people are to talking about it is mega. Because how do we expect people to come forward and say, hey, I'm considering suicide, can you help me? If we're not open to even the word.
You know what I think it is? I think it's shame.
It is. And stigma.
People wear their shame on their sleeve.
Yeah.
We assume as human beings that everybody knows every bad thought, every bad thing that we've ever done. And until we get to a point of healing within ourselves, we do wear that on our sleeve. And we treat people in accordance with that. And I stand by this, and no, it's not a fact, but I stand by this. 9 out of 10 people have thought, I don't want to be here.
100%.
When you bring up the obvious mortality that comes with suicide, right, to somebody that has ever considered that level of severity, right, has ever thought, I don't want to be here, it triggers a wound of shame in them straight away, and they have to avoid it.
Yeah.
Like they have to be like, oh shit.
Oh my God, I've never thought of it like that.
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
Yeah. Like a guilt of, oh, I can't believe I felt like that.
Yeah, because they're looking at you as a mirror of what they could have done to the people around
I've
them.
never thought of it like that. We've got this stat, haven't we, that 1 in 5 of us will consider suicide in any one time, and I'm calling bullshit on that.
I think it's 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is 9 out of 10. Like, I could stand in a room full of people and blindfold them and say, put your hand up if you've ever thought about suicide. I guarantee the majority of the room would put the hand up.
100%.
I do think 1 in 5 is lowballed, but we move.
1 in 5 would have the bottle to say it.
Well, exactly. And where are these people? Where are you asking the question? You
You're
stood on
going
Bowl
to
Street,
KFC,
like
do you
ticking,
know what I mean?
like how are you collecting this data? But you're right. So then when you stand and talk about suicide, and they think about a time in their life when they considered suicide and they feel very guilty and sad and shameful about it, they think, right, shit, I don't want to have that conversation because it's reminding me of that.
Yeah.
Never thought of it like that.
Well, that's my job in it. I'm a neurobiological process practitioner. That's how I look at things. So when you address something that brings someone else shame, they will shut it down. People do this thing, right? They either shut it out or they double down in every scenario ever. Every scenario ever, people will choose one or two things. Block it out, double down, right? If it brings them a certain level of shame, okay? So you can always tell how a person is going to react to anything serious and major by how they react to something minor, okay?
Right, okay.
Because anything that brings them shame triggers the same response until they heal or differentiate that response by, addressing the inner person, getting through their healing phase and whatnot, right? So you can tell how a person is going to react to a major shame or a major trauma by how they react to a minor shame or a minor trauma. They will either block it out, disassociate, be very, oh, no, change the subject, right? Or they will double down and make it so fucking important, so fucking apparent that they go over the top. If it brings them shame, they're the two shame responses when you're not actually healed. So if you say to someone, test this, I beg you to test this, right? I beg you, right? If you say to someone, fucking hate people that cheat on people, me, watch. You'll know who's done it or who's considered doing it by their reaction. Because anyone that hasn't considered doing it will be like, yeah, you know what, same. They'll have a very neutral reaction. Anyone who has considered doing it will go, yeah, fucking hate it. Fucking hate it so much. It's fucking disgusting. I hate it, right? Or they'll go, I don't know, there's always reasons, right? So they'll either double down or they'll just box it off.
I've got people in my head right now that I'm thinking about and reactions they've had to minor situations that then there's been a bigger situation and they've reacted in the exact same way, but like in a bigger way. Usually narcissists. I'm thinking of a lot of narcissists right now, but that's fascinating.
Yeah, they'll always either double down or block it out.
Yeah.
And I've been guilty of this in my life as well. A lot of the work that I do with people, I'm teaching them, look, you're not a bad person. You are reacting as a mammal, right? And you will always react from your mammalian reflexes, which is whatever you've been pre-programmed to react to situations with. But that will always be your tell. My mates always used to say they knew when I'd gone and relapsed because they'd mention anything around me and I'd just start going, oh, I'm fucking disgusting now, absolutely not, fucking blah, 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 blah. And I'd go on an absolute fucking tongue-buckling tangent, right? And then start telling them some mad story. And they'd be like, are you all right, mate? I'd go, yeah, fine. Do you know what I mean? But you can always tell because people do double down. And especially when someone's done you wrong. When someone's done you wrong, they will either avoid you or double down.
Yeah.
Right? And there's no in between. And you have to just let them do it. Because at the end of that response, they're then faced by themselves. At the end of every response you ever give, it's you. You're always at the end of it. Doesn't matter how you react to someone. Doesn't matter whether you think you controlled the situation. Doesn't matter what you think their perception of you is. At the end of every conversation, it's you.
It's your own face you've got to look at in the mirror at the end of the day.
Face yourself in it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why when you mention suicide around people that have considered or have had that mindset, they will straight away just go, oh, fucking hell, right? And they'll either try and, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Or they'll go, well, you know what, let's look at what you can be grateful in your life, because they're going from two reflexes. Because they've either decided that they definitely want to make this better for you because they're feeling shit, that could have been me. Or they want to avoid it because they're thinking shit, that could have been me. But either way, 9 out of 10 people are thinking shit, that could have been me.
Yeah, you're right. You're so right. I've never thought of it like that. And something that I find wild is the generational difference. So we did our conference yesterday, Northwest Suicide Prevention Conference, and we had all these amazing speakers and we had these young boys from a school that we work with. And these kids are not afraid of it. They're not ashamed of it. They're not afraid of the conversation. And we go into schools and we deliver suicide prevention talks. And it's the teachers that are terrified. It's the teachers that you can see wincing, thinking, oh, I don't know if I want to talk about this.
That's what I just said.
Whereas the kids are like...
The kids haven't considered it yet, babe.
Well, yeah. Well, hopefully not.
That's it. The kids...
That makes sense.
The kids that aren't wincing haven't considered it yet.
They're so open to the conversation.
They don't have a physical reaction to it because it's never been their reality. Your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and fiction. It only knows the chemical reaction, only knows what it thinks, right? So if you've never had to consider that alternative, you're not going to have a physical reaction to it because your brain hasn't processed it as a threat to your mortality yet. Whereas as an adult, when you've even thought about suicide, when you've considered that, you've 9 times out of 10 pictured it in your head and what's going to happen afterwards and how your friends are going to react. Your brain has been able to process that as a threat. So when it's brought up and it's put into your peripheral, be it through a conversation with someone about suicide or even seen in the paper or seen on Facebook that someone's done it, it hits you right in the shame sector. Because your brain is constantly processing the world in comparison to you. Like you only see things from your own mind, don't you?
It makes total sense.
Yeah, so you can have a seminar with a load of kids and talk about suicide. They won't wince, but you'll just be filling them with information so they have more awareness of it.
They know about it from TikTok and stuff like that. These kids already know about it. They're learning about it. Do you want them to learn about it in a safe way? In a safe environment with a safe team that are doing it properly? Or do you want your kids to learn about suicide from TikTok?
Oh, TikTok's such a cunt, mate.
I don't even know how to log into TikTok. I'm like a dinosaur.
I suggest you don't log into TikTok.
No, I don't want it.
I cross-post whatever I post, and it's always informative or a bit of a piss take. One of the two. There's no in between, really, is there? It's either a joke or it's some sort of information, like how would you like to sort your head out in this way today? But I think TikTok is desensitizing people to topics like suicide. Your brain was never meant to take in this amount of information. Ever. We don't have the processing speed to take in this amount of information. And when you're going from death, dance, death, dance, you're disassociating yourself from the severity of death. For example, I've got a client who's 16, just turned 16. And her mum has, give parental consent for her to have this coaching with me. She will spend 14 hours a day screen time on her phone.
Oh, my God.
Right, which is a ridiculous amount of time. And that's what she's coming to coaching for, to wean off it, right? But she also has absolutely no sense at 16 of proper right and wrong.
Wow. Do you reckon that's from social media?
I reckon it is, yeah. And her mum is a brilliant woman, but she went through an awful lot of shit. So as a parent that goes through an awful lot of shit, sometimes you don't do your best job. We've all been guilty of this. She disassociated. She gave the kid the tablet. Now the kid is obsessed with the tablet to the point where 14 hours of screen time a day.
That's like all the time that you're awake, nearly.
Exactly. Right, exactly. Constantly on it. And she's homeschooled. Fingers crossed we get to go to fucking college, right? But she's so desensitized to everything that she would genuinely get more upset if her boyfriend cheated on her than if she saw someone being shot in the street on TikTok. And I think that's true for a lot of people when you think about it. You don't need 14 hours of screen time a day to desensitize yourself to that. Because you yourself being cheated on, for example, you take that as a moral problem. Seeing someone get shot on TikTok, you disassociate from it. You can scroll on from it within 2 seconds, and you will.
And then it's gone, isn't it?
And you've witnessed the end of someone's life. And now you're watching someone do I love it.
It's dangerous. It's so dangerous for young people. My 15-year-old is like, he's on TikTok like that, and I can hear it. It's so annoying next to me like that because he doesn't even watch the whole video. He watches like 0.2 seconds or something, then it's another noise and a different noise and a different noise and a different noise. And he's even acknowledged himself that like his attention span is, and I'm a doom scroller. I am a doom scroller. I just don't know how to log into TikTok. But like, because your attention span is so short, but then you go back out into the real world and you haven't got an attention span anymore.
No, you don't.
It's terrifying. But I think the same about like online dating, or it's like swipey. I hate the idea of it. I mean, I'm married, so it doesn't matter. But I hate the idea of it because people are so disposable. How can someone be disposed in like a swipe like that? Those people go back out into the real world and people become disposable to them.
So that has made a massive impact on suicide rates, the fact that people have become so swipey, disposable.
Yeah, it's definitely not helped, has it?
I don't think so.
I don't think social media has helped at all, especially with young people.
Oh, yeah. I'm
such a hypocrite because my husband will openly say, Jess, get off Instagram. You're literally like scrolling Instagram. Yeah. I'm like, I know, but I love it. But I like to use my platform for good. I just think for young people, and there's lots of conversations going on at the minute about, do we ban social media for under 16-year-olds? And I don't know where I sit on it because I do think there's an element of personal choice and responsibility. But then I do really see the value in, actually, we grew up without social media. Like, my first social media was Bebo. Do you remember Bebo?
I do.
Oh, it was banging, wasn't it? Like, it was so good.
Change your background colour.
Yeah, and like you had a song.
What was your song?
I don't know. Probably changed all the time.
Mine was Miss Independent by Neo.
How do you remember what song it was?
Because I put it on there just so this guy would think I was Miss Independent, because he said he liked people that had their own shit together. But he was 5 years. He was 5 years older than me, and I was trying to convince him to get with me at 13.
No, that's illegal, babe.
Yeah, I know. I know.
And MSN Messenger, and you'd put in your MSN Messenger thing like lyrics to like emo songs.
Shorty's like a melody in my head.
So that was like our experience of social media growing up, and that was bad enough.
Do you remember having the pig that?
No.
Did you never send someone a pig on at MSN?
No.
That knocks on the screen?
No.
What?
Was this when you were on crack? Or was it a different time? Are you sure there was a pig?
I'm pretty sure.
I
Don't fuck with me. Was there no pig? Have I imagined that?
Should we Google it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember that. Blocked that out. But that was our experience of social media, wasn't it? And it was like, it wasn't as kind of in your face because you had to go on your dial-up internet. You're not as old as me, are you?
Never you fucking mind.
But do you remember dial-up internet?
Yes.
Yeah, so give it away. So we had to have this dial-up internet where it was like, and then you'd be allowed like an hour or something on MSN Messenger, and that would be it.
So I had Habbo Hotel, right? And you couldn't say swear words on it. It would say bobber.
I don't remember
Right?
this
No,
at all.
yeah, it was sick. And I remember I had a Habbo boyfriend.
On the internet?
On the internet. I was like 11. I had a Habbo boyfriend. And he'd go behind me in these rooms and he'd dance behind me in this room and be like, I'm going to bobber your bobbering head off, you bobbering bobber.
Stop it! No, why have I never seen this bob? What's it called?
Mate, I'm going to have to show you.
Habbo.
Habbo Hotel,
Habbo Hotel.
right? And then I had all this Fernie, right? Which is like furniture. In this room, and I've made my granddad, God bless him, spend fucking loads on Fernie, right? And this guy came and he was like, give me all your Fernie right now, or I'm going to hack you and all this. And I was like, ah! So I gave him all this Fernie. And then I remember crying my eyes out that night and saying, Granddad, I've been robbed on the internet. Like, I had to give this guy all this stuff. And he was like, what do you mean you've been robbed on the internet? They're not even real fucking people. Why have you given all your stuff away, you stupid girl? And then it turned out it was my Habbo boyfriend on another account. And my Habbo boyfriend gave me all my Fernie back and said that he'd killed the other character to give it me back. It was proper grooming.
Who was the boyfriend?
Well, we ended up exchanging emails. Didn't want to do MSM because I thought he'd video call me, and I told him I was 15.
And you were how old?
11.
Nice.
So I was like, I can't video call you because you'll notice I'm a child with a fringe. So I gave him my email and he sent me a picture of himself, and he was quite clearly like in his 20s. Do you know what I mean? Big blue Henleys top with the yellow Henleys across it. And he was like, I am from Bradford. Where are you from? And then I deleted my Habbo.
And your email.
No, I still have the email. It was Flower Pot Girl.
Nice.
That was my email because my granddad had set it up for me because he was flower mad. Imagine trying to pull on Habbo with an email, Flower Pot Girl.
Flower Pot Girl.
I think my Habbo name was like Flower Girl 50 or something. Fucking ridiculous shit. No, it wasn't. It was Rose Queen 50 because I was Rose Queen at the parish church.
That's cute.
Is it?
Yeah.
Anyway, do you remember, what's that thing? Omegle.
No.
No. What was the original Omegle? Chat roulette. Did you have chat roulette?
Not when I was a kid, though.
Oh.
Like, that didn't come out on the Isle of Man until I was much older.
No, I did, you know, it was there. It was always there. It's bad, though, because I remember seeing, like, all sorts of madness on chat roulette back in the day.
Oh, like, that's what it's there for, isn't it?
I saw a bloke held hostage on chat roulette.
No.
Swear, but I thought it was messing about when I was younger. But you know, like, when you're older now and you realise, hey, that was actually just someone getting tortured.
Yeah, is it living rent-free in your head now?
Yeah, it does a bit. I think, fuck it, hell, what did I witness?
Do you think, can I go back and report it? Or...
No, no point. Can't do that now, can I? Well, what am I going to say? These 3 random men on a video call back in 2009 on chat roulette. The police would be like, yeah, thank you, Sarah. Haven't you got a history of hard drugs?
I think she's back on it.
Yeah, she's on it again, guys. No, it's bad. But I remember this guy saying to me on chat roulette, get tits out for a tenner. And
Did you get your tenner?
No, obviously not. How was he even going to give it to me? I didn't even have a bank. What was I doing? Not me thinking this guy was going to come round my mum's with £10. And the worst bit is, I'd probably sent him my address. I was actual non-tackle.
Spending it on Fernie on
Habbo. Yeah, Grandad, can you put this in your savings account? I need to get some more Fernie for
you
my
just
online.
Pop this into an SLI for
my
me.
online bobber boyfriend. Fucking freak I was, swear.
When you think about things like that and the grooming and all that, it's pretty bad. But I don't think it was as constant.
It
and it's not
wasn't.
on a thing like that in your
No, because we
hand.
couldn't have it on our phone, could we?
No.
Do you remember the first time we had Facebook on the internet?
And you had to like go on the website.
Yeah, the
It
actual
wasn't an app or
Safari.
anything.
Yeah, to go on the internet, and then you'd have to type in "on holes" smiley face. Woo! Whereas now
From
you
a little
just,
internet cafe.
That's it. Yeah. And there was like there was actual what do you call it? Oh yeah, you couldn't. It wasn't constant at all back then.
No.
You had to actually go if you're on holiday to the computer room.
Yeah, and then put like a euro in, and then
Yes.
and you do all that just to update your Facebook page just to say, I'm in Lanzarote.
In Lanza with the Manzas, honestly.
I'd be literally there with my mom.
Oh no, it's mad though, isn't it? When you look back, I fell in love with this guy called Deck on holiday. Right, I was about 15. Deck, if you're watching, he was probably about 17.
It's still illegal.
It is a bit. You know, when I talk about my childhood and all of my boyfriends, I realise quite quickly that a lot of them shouldn't have been my boyfriends.
No.
But anyway, I was 15, nearly 16. He was 17. We're going to let it slide. You know what I mean, there was no grooming involved. We were dry humping in a pool, right? And it was bad, you know. And I remember we were like near enough banging in this pool. Do you know what I mean? Like this, and I was like, oh, and my dad went past. My dad was like, "What are you doing?"
That's what family holidays are for.
Yeah, what are you doing? Like, no, but seriously, we're near enough getting at it in this pool. And then he went home 2 days before me. And I was sobbing in the lobby of this hotel like a fucking Love Island exit. And we wrote each other like notes to say like, I'm not going to forget you. Bearing in mind, we had each other on Facebook.
Oh, that's quite cute.
Yeah, and I went to meet up with him in the Trafford Centre and he started rapping to music on his phone and I had to bin him off.
Yeah, that'll do it. Where is he now?
Probably HMP. Got his brother on social media because his brother tried it on after him. Wanted a bit of poolside dry humping, didn't he? They were called Deck and Dale. To be fair, I did speak to Dale a fair bit afterwards. He was like, "Come and visit me." And I was like, "Will do." But obviously I was a chronic liar and drug taker. Not so long after that. So I was like, "Just send me some money instead." I'm going to train, I swear.
You just sent me the money for a train ticket.
Yeah, no, it's mad. But you do. We didn't have social media as bad back then. Now, everyone's stuck to their phones. Back then, we went to the internet cafe. I split up with my boyfriend that holiday as well for Deck. I had to message him from the internet cafe in the hotel.
You are dumped.
They're literally,
You are.
I am so sorry, but you are finished.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. You just put back, okay. And then changed his profile picture on MSN to another picture of him. It's mad, isn't it? Because you do look back and you think, stuff we did without social media, thank fuck we didn't have social media.
Oh, thank God. And ring doorbells.
Oh, fuck the Ring doorbells, mate. I used to go and just randomly take the caps off people's cars. That was like part of my hobby as a kid.
On the tyres?
Yeah.
Why?
Fuck knows. I'd be so fucked now if there was social media. I'd walk up and down the road just taking the caps off the cars.
Top pants.
Yeah.
Lol.
You know, you think back, you think, little prick.
Yeah.
Or like we'd go and we just egg houses that we thought were the teachers' houses. There was no proof that any of these houses belonged to teachers.
That looks like a house that Mrs. Smith might
Yeah.
live in. Egg.
Yeah, literally. It's bad, isn't it? Or we'd go, I remember one of my mates once, he was a naughty little shit. He's homeless now, God bless him. I saw him not long ago and it broke my heart. But we were like inseparable as teenagers because we were both delinquent little reprobate cunts. And there's one time he taught me how to make a flour bomb.
What's that?
Oh, mate. So it's water, flour, egg, and poo.
That's gross.
Right? Proper flour bomb though. And you
I
can
was on board until you said the poo.
No. You can put poo in it. And instead of water, you can put piss in it. And you put loads of little pebbles in it and stuff, right? And you chuck it places. Not that I recommend anyone fucking does this. Anyway, so we had gloves on. His dad was like this plumber. So his dad had these big, thick gloves that he used and all this stuff, right? And we had these gloves on. And we went down this really dark road, right, near mine, and we started chucking these flour bombs at cars and that, right? And as we chucked it at this house, this geezer came out the back gate because he must have seen us or heard us or something, right? And he chased us all the way down the road, right? And he was running so quickly that I forgot I still had a handful of literal fucking shit and flour and egg, right? And we ran all the way to my mum's.
Sorry, where do you get the poo from?
Oh, you shit in the bag.
You shit in a bag?
You shit in the bag, mate.
That is gross.
I mean, where'd you get the poo from?
How'd you get the poo from?
Self-made, motherfucker.
What if you don't need a poo at that time?
Oh, you always need a poo eventually. One of you is going to poo at some point.
Can't cope.
It's bad, you know. It was bad. We were bad as kids. Thank God there was no social media.
You know those things that you think are normal at the time that aren't actually normal? That's one of them.
Mate, you're telling me. I did a video of my mate yesterday we can't even post. called Trauma Hallelujah. You know where you say something traumatic and then hallelujah, like that Justin Bieber song, right? She was doing hers, and then every time I did mine, she was like, and I realised quite quickly, I can't put this shit on the internet. It was bad because like hers were like, turned every one night stand into a relationship, hallelujah. And mine was like, turned every relationship into a one night stand, hallelujah. Like, it was that different in contrast. Some of the craziest stories that you've got in your life, some of the worst shit that you've ever been involved in never happened, and it's part of your testimony in it in the end.
It is. It really is.
To be able to talk about the weird shit, the weird wonderful shit, and the weird not so wonderful shit, without it being a dark, dreary, woe is me scenario. I think your dad would be fucking well proud of you. You are sick. I know I've said that about a million times. You are so sick at what you do and what you represent. I've got a crying in the DMs to read out.
Go on.
That I want you to advise on. So we're going to have to switch to your favourite part. And now for your favourite part, crying in the DMs. Jess, we've got one hell of a fucking DM for you today, babes.
Okay.
Dear Jess and Sarah, everyone keeps saying check on your strong friends, but what happens when the strong friend doesn't even know how to admit they're struggling? I know someone who is always the helper, always a listener, and often the fixer, and she is the one that everyone calls in a crisis. She's always posting motivational quotes, she makes everyone laugh, she shows up for everyone's birthdays, and she never doesn't answer the phone. But behind closed doors, she is exhausted, and she's recently told me this. She said recently that she can't remember the last time if someone asked if they were okay, not just you good. I sat with that long enough to actually hear the truth. And what scared me most is that they admitted then they don't even cry anymore. They feel really numb. They said they spent so long surviving that now being needed is all they know to not fall apart. The people around them I know would never suspect it, and I only suspect it because of how close I am in their life. They still joke around, still post online and still function, but lately they have gotten an awful lot happier, apart from one thing they told me. Just because someone's coping doesn't mean they're okay. Make sure you remember that. I wanted to ask, how dangerous do you think emotional suppression is when someone becomes so used to being the strong one and stop recognising their own pain? And what can I do to try and stop them from doing what I think might be inevitable?
Wow, that's a message and a half, isn't it? So I think there's a couple of things to unpick in that. And I think the first thing is your friend must really trust you to be opening up to you in that way. Because if they are putting on this front to all these people and they've trusted you with that information, then you're doing something right as a friend. But also, for you to have noticed that something's not quite right, there's something really special in that as well. So you're already halfway there because, those conversations are already happening, that trust's already been built. And I think now it's about being really fearless with having those conversations really clearly and directly. You've already picked up on it. You've sent us a message about it. You've had a conversation with your mate about it. She's probably crying out for you to ask her some very clear and direct questions, especially if she's like not feeling seen by the people around her, helping everybody's become part of her identity, feels that nobody's really asking how she is. To me, this screams of, please ask me the question, please ask me the question. And the reason why we don't ask about suicide all the time as a society is because we're taught that if you ask about it, you might plant the seed in somebody's head. And that is categorically untrue. It's a myth. If I said to you, do you want to put all your wages in my bank account right now? You don't want to do it, do you?
I do not.
No, you don't. You can't plant that thought. If somebody's not already having that thought, you can't plant that thought in somebody's head. And research and evidence shows us that if you ask really clear and direct questions about suicide, it has a direct impact on preventing suicide. So your friend is probably, if she's thinking about suicide, she's throwing out all these invitations, all these things. She's saying hopeless, helpless, worthless, suddenly feeling happier and looking like there's a big weight off her shoulders. All those things, being reckless with money, all the things we've spoken about before, come up packaged in different ways, but they're all invitations. And they're invitations to ask a really clear and direct question. And that question is as simple as, are you having thoughts of suicide? And if you feel like you need to fluff it up a bit, because we're British, aren't we? And we've got to be polite, you can say, I've heard you say X, Y, Z. I've heard you say you feel hopeless, helpless, worthless. Nobody's checking in on you. Da, 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 da. You've had enough, whatever those things look like. Sometimes when people say things like that, they're considering suicide. Are you? So we can package it up, but I recommend going in really clear. So we don't want to be asking questions like, you're not going to hurt yourself, are you? You're not thinking of doing something silly, are you? Because in that, you're telling them that what you think they're talking about is silly. So they're going to shut down. They don't want to talk to you. You're also saying, I'm not comfortable with this, because you're saying you're not going to do X, Y, Z. You're telling them, I want you to tell me the answer is no, because I'm not comfortable with this conversation. So we're going in really clear, really direct, no space for ambiguity. Are you having thoughts of suicide? And you'll get a yes or a no. And what you do with that after depends on the situation. There's loads of help out there. The first step to preventing suicide is having those clear and direct conversations about it.
Oh, yeah. You fucking smashed that. If anyone wanted to get involved with the Martin Gallier Project, how would they do that? Where would they go to?
So the best place is our website or our social media. Website's themartingallierproject.org. All the information's on there. Literally, you can find everything that we do. You can go on like a tour of the building so you can feel how like comfortable and safe and non-clinical it feels. It feels like a living room. It doesn't feel like a hospital or anything like that. But social media is where we update with kind of what's going on and what we're up to. So we cover the Northwest. We've got a base on the Wirral. We've got a base in Chester City Centre. Got a base in Macclesfield and got a base in Crewe. And if someone wants to give us loads of money in terms of commissioning, we can put some bases. I mean, we'd put them on the moon. We'd put them wherever that kind of, commissioning came from. But for now, we cover the Northwest and out of Wirral, Chester, Macclesfield and Crewe. Chester's closest to you, isn't it? So it's like right by the cathedral.
Anyone that is interested in getting in touch with the Martin Gallier Project, please feel free to go and follow their social media, go and drop in. And if you are somebody that's been feeling like you need a little bit of a helping hand, as you say, it's free, it's accessible, it's same day, same hour, same minute. Depending on when you walk in, obviously, if there's a queue, you've got to get in it. But I think what you do is phenomenal, mate.
Thank you.
So humbled and so grateful to have had you on my little blue sofa today. And hopefully you make a big impact and continue to make a bigger impact, because you're kind of a big deal. So I mean, hopefully you continue to make a big impact on the world and make your little footprint on it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
I've had a ball.
I love you. If you've been affected by any of the issues in today's episode, please feel free to click the links that will be listed down below. That includes suicide prevention links across the UK and the link to the website of the Martin Gallier Project. Good night, God bless, bye!